Howdy folks, how we going? I'm in the brewery. I've got a whole selection of bottles here I'm going to taste, and this is all Twang Files related. First thing is Twang Files number 2. They're now at 9 weeks old, 2 months. 2 months and about 1 day, I think, since they were bottled. I think they'll first of March they were bottled. 2 months, 2 days. So that's our 9 weeks. So I'm going to do a quick revisit on these. Let's get into it. I'm not going to spend much time on either of these. Extravaganza number 30, Twang Files number 2. This was the Woolies Draught can. On the original tasting, there was a mix of the basic draft. I boiled half of the kit. I boiled the tin and added stevia to some bottles. So what I've got here is 2 bottles of each. I've got a bottle that's been done normally, and I've got the bottle actually had the stevia tablet added to it. Go back and have a look at the tasting if you're not sure what the stevia tablet refers to. Well, now, so I'm only going to pour small amounts of these on a bloody waste everywhere. I don't want to bloody go write myself off just at this point in time. Anyway, so that's the base Woolies Draught with box of VE2. With some done with USA 5. No, so very standard. It's clear. It's got decent carbs. It's got not real. It's hard to judge it when you only poured that amount. Still holding a little bit of twang. Still not a great beer. I've gone back and watched the tasting videos on these beers, trying to sort of re-jog the memory and get the thought process back where we were. I did comment on the original tasting that there wasn't a real large amount of twang in this beer. There was just a little bit of a, flavour's not quite right, and that's sort of still holding fairly true as it is. Not a lot of twang. There's a little bit there. The flavour's just not quite right, but look, I can see why there'd be some people that are happy to drink that. As I've always said, if this is your beer of choice, there's a reason for that. That's because you're looking to do cheap beer. And as far as the cost that is, that's the draft tin, a box of BE2. Even with a pack of USA 5, it's somewhere around $21. So around 40 cents for a stubby. That's an economical beer. It's not terrible. But the time hasn't been a magic. It's not been a magic answer. Let's say that. Let's go here. Same beer with the stevia tablet added to the bottle. On the original tasting, I did comment that this beer was more palatable. Wasn't necessarily better, but it was more palatable from the effect of that stevia tablet. Now again, this comes back to Jim Best. This is a process that he spruiks and uses. And again, pretty much the same as the original. You've still got a beer with not great flavour. There's a little bit of extra sweetness carrying in from the stevia, which does it overrides that weird little twangy weird note. But I've got to say, I'm thinking it's actually possibly not as effective as it was initially, but it's only a slight variation. But yeah, it's cheap. Like I said, if you're not too worried about too concerned about your flavour, it's going to get you by. If you're looking for a decent beer with decent flavour, then it's way off the mark. It's not in the ballpark you're looking for. But again, less twang than a lot of other kits, and we discussed it on the original video. This is the same brew where the tin was boiled for 30 minutes and then made up exactly the same. So it's the same brew, just the tin was boiled, because this was one of these magic ways that people have supposedly getting rid of twang. And the same comment on that original video, that has less twang, less of the weirdness than the original brew, but it's got very little. It's very boring. But I mean, I've got to say, it has less twang. There is less twang, there is less of the weird flavour, so it would appear to have had some sort of positive outcome. But as you see, and same from the original video, no head retention. Yeah, and the flavours are just very muted. So as much as it's pulled down that twanginess and the weirdness, it's pulled everything else down. The malt and the hop and everything has come down as well. Again, as I said, this is a Woolworth Draught tin, so there's not a lot going on. That's just how it is. So this is the same one, the boiled version, again with a stevia tablet added to the bottle. Okay, and if anything there, that little bit of sweetness from the stevia is actually bringing some of that weird flavour back into the beer that isn't there without it, funnily. Yeah, it's almost got a like a diet soft drink sort of edge on it. So yeah, again, if you're looking for a beer that's sub $20 a batch, then that may well be very, very palatable to you. Again, it looks like, that 2 months of time sitting for that beer, for the Woolies Draught, I think has done it some good. There wasn't a lot of the kick twang, a lot of that flavour there initially, for time to create a great amount of improvement. But I think it backs up and that idea that time is important. Letting these kick beers sit makes a difference. So we shall continue on. I've just this afternoon, prior to these tastings, bottled up Twang File number 4, which is Mangrove Jack's Irish Red Ale from the pouch. Working to see how the pouch goes, whether that's still going to produce some twang in the extract. I had a taste on it this afternoon. It was actually tasting not too bad. Didn't exhibit a lot of twang in that initial taste, but I know enough not to take too much notice of exactly how a beer tastes coming straight from the fermenter. It's a good indicator, but it's not enough to do a full response on. But it was, because that was tasting better than I was expecting. So that's coming. Batch number 3. Which was the Black Rock Pilsner with the spring water versus tap water. It's been now in kegs for 12, 18, about 3 weeks. So kegs are still sitting here on the floor. They're not going to get into the fridge for a little while. I'm not even going to bother tasting those. I'm not rushing to get them into kegs. I'm going to get them in when they're ready. If it gets to about 8 weeks and they've not got on the keg, which I seriously doubt, then I'll throw them into the fridge and get them on tap and get them ready. But I imagine we'll probably get them on tap within a couple of weeks. So but they're going to get a good, I'd imagine they're going to get a good 6 weeks before I'm going to get a taster on them. So yeah, next batch to go on. I'm not entirely sure what it's going to be. I really should have got a batch on today, but I've dicked around to another thing, so it didn't happen. But I'm tossing up between throwing on a Woolies lager and purely to see how it goes. Got to do the Breeze extract in the plastic tubs to see how that goes. So that's checking to see if the Twang's tin related. The other option at this point is just start dropping tins again, just start dropping extracts straight up. I think we're getting beyond a lot of the things that people are expecting to make any sort of difference. By the time we've done the tap water versus the spring water, and I said get through this pouch brew, get through the the plastic tub brew, I think we've really covered any bases, and anything else has been covered, been done in previous brews, and been obviously shows that they don't work. So yeah, I'm pretty close to really wrapping up the whole Twang Files and making a judgment. But as I said, there is still at least one more brew that's got to go on before I can do that, and that requires 2 months of conditioning as well. So we are still in the vicinity of 3 months, late winter, before I'm going to get a final wrap up and little John delivers his verdict on Twang Files. But for now, we are done. Thank you for coming along. Comments and questions down the bottom. Patrons of the channel, thank you guys very much for your support. If you're interested in Patreon, hit the link down the bottom. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not, think about it. There's a link down the bottom as well. There's a button down there, hit that. Ring the bell, get notified there's a new video. If you like what's going on the channel, give us a thumbs up. But other than that, that's me, Little John. Twang Files, rolling along. Until I see you on the next video, we're brewing beer, drinking beer, or talking beer. Yeah, good brewing. Catch us on the next video.